So in previous lessons we've discussed differentiating and integrating in terms of functions that have exponentials, so e to some exponent or natural logs. We're going to talk today about bases other than e, and you can see that if y equals some constant raised to an exponent, so the base is not e, it's some other constant value, then the derivative is the natural log of a times a to the u prime. Alright, so the easiest way to think about this is this part of it, at least, is very similar to the derivative of e to the u. It's the same thing, a to the u times the derivative of that exponent, u prime, but we have to multiply by the natural log of a. And if we have y equals log base a of u, then we have u prime over u, so that's very similar to the natural log of u. But here we have an extra factor of natural log of a in the denominator. And really, you just have to memorize these two formulas. When we take the derivative of a base other than e, we take the derivative of log other than e, so a logarithm that's not a natural log. You have to just memorize these formulas here. So that's really kind of the first step in doing these examples, is knowing these, having access to these as you work them, and over time coming to know them by heart. So the first example, kind of a simple one, it's 2 to the negative x. So here we have this form here. It's some constant raised to a function of x as the exponent, and so we basically just apply this definition. We have the natural log of 2 times 2 to the negative x times the derivative of negative x, which is negative 1. We can clean that up a little bit, and it will look like that. The next example here takes that idea of a constant raised to a function of x, but now we have the product rule occurring here, or we have a product here, and when we take the derivative we have to apply the product rule. So the derivative of x is 1 times the original second part of the product, plus here's the x, and now the derivative of this is again natural log of 7 times 7 to the negative 3x, and then the derivative of negative 3x is negative 3. And again, we just clean that up a little bit. Notice we have a 7 to the negative 3x as a factor in both of those terms, so we can bring that down into the denominator. We're just left with 1 minus 3x, natural log of 7. So here we have a logarithm base 10. So again, as I slide this up so you can see this here, this is going to follow this pattern. It's u prime over u with a factor of the natural log of whatever this base is in the denominator. So we have u prime over u, the derivative of cosine of x is negative sine x over the original u of cosine x, and a factor of natural log of 10 in the denominator. And really, it would have been just as easy for me to write it this way at first. So this is probably how you would have your answer there. Just a real simple u prime over u with a natural log of 10 there in the denominator.